Absolutely horrible news. Last Friday, Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the second woman to serve on the high court and a legal pioneer for gender equality whose fierce opinions as a justice made her a hero to the left, died September 18th at her home in Washington. She was 87. The death was announced in a statement by the US Supreme Court. She had recently been treated for pancreatic cancer. And if you've been paying attention to politics, you know that over the past few years, she's had a number of health difficulties. She continued to work and was active throughout all of that. So I don't think that many people were incredibly surprised that she eventually passed. She was, quite advanced in age, had been dealing with this for a very long time, but it is devastating for a number of different reasons that we're gonna get into. Just first off though, I do wanna just acknowledge in a way that the vast majority of political media is really eager to skip over, that a woman who has died, that her family is grieving, that she has made an indelible mark on American history. Doesn't mean that she's perfect. I know that this is also the sort of opportunity where, someone on the left will come out and they're like, nah, we gotta find something. Yeah, she's not perfect because she's a human and humans are flawed, but she was pretty good in a lot of ways, pretty historic in a lot of ways. Francesca, when you saw this news, what'd you think?
I mean, there was like a 10-second, F word, multiple, like, yeah, the screams through my neighborhood were audible. And very much devastated, although we knew this was going to happen. And I think we really have to, you're exactly right. We have to appreciate that this woman who made such a mark, not just on her family's life, but on this country's life, on who you could argue truly shaped this democracy and interpreted the Constitution in ways that emboldened and empowered and led to more equality between the sexes with immigrants and people of color and voting rights, etc., with labor rights. Like this is someone, 87 years old, right? Like this is someone whose entire career was about, like she transcended these decades and actually like carried this torch for this in the service of equal rights. And so judging her by like, well, she did X, Y, or Z wrong or this and that, it's like, this is someone who's been around for a long, I really appreciate Liz Winstead, who runs, Abortion AF. This quote that she had, which is, women, if you have a credit card in your own name, your own credit history, if you've leased an apartment or bought property in your name, if you've consented to your own medical treatment, if you've played a sport in school, you can thank Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. That is what we need to remember. And I think especially if you are lucky enough, not lucky enough, man, I'm happy to be a woman. If you are not in one of those categories, if you're not LGBTQ, if you're not a woman, you really need to actually understand what the legacy of RBG has been for those of us who have been historically oppressed and in the minority, and try to empathize, knowing that this woman has enriched our country and again, our Constitution.
Exactly. It would be incredibly easy for someone like me, for instance, to nitpick every quote or decision or whatever that she's made. It's so easy that people are actually doing it. But no, not today. Anyway, let's tell you just a little bit about some of her history. Obviously, it would take multiple documentaries to go through everything that she's done, and I'm sure that those will come. We do have a quote from Chief Justice John Roberts, who says, "Our nation has lost a justice of historic stature. We at the Supreme Court have lost a cherished colleague. Today we mourn, but with confidence that future generations will remember Ruth Bader Ginsburg as we knew her, a tireless and resolute champion of justice." I would say to Chief Justice John Roberts, you might have the opportunity to do some stuff in her spirit in the near future. Maybe bear that in mind as and look, honestly, while Chief Justice John Roberts is a conservative appointed by a Republican, in comparison to those already that have been put on the court recently and those who are likely to come, he's looking pretty reasonable. He's effectively the swing vote to the extent that there is a swing vote. Now, really fast, in the history, working in the 1970s with the ACLU, Justice Ginsburg successfully argued a series of cases before the high court that strategically chipped away at the legal wall of gender discrimination, eventually causing it to topple. Later, as a member of the court's liberal bloc, she was a reliable vote to enhance the rights of women, protect affirmative action and minority voting rights, and defend a woman's right to choose an abortion. Obviously, one of the most consequential changes potentially politically coming from this is that last. She kept a backbreaking schedule of public appearances, both at home and abroad, even after 5 bouts with cancer. Colon cancer back in 1999, pancreatic cancer 10 years later, lung cancer in 2018, and then pancreatic cancer again in 2019, and liver lesions in 2020. I mean, it is the struggle that she put up literally just to live is something that I can't even imagine. And while doing so much on a daily basis, yeah, it is a massive loss. She should be remembered, for centuries for what she's contributed.
Yeah, and it is really, and I think we'll get into this. I think what's really difficult about her passing is the fact that it is being politicized. It was politicized before she was even dead, right? It's been politicized for a long time. There have been Republicans, like licking their chops, waiting for her to die. And it brings up the question of whether or not Supreme Court justices should serve until they die. And like, why is this life service, does that actually make sense? Because it suddenly colors her legacy with this, well, why didn't she retire earlier? Well, it starts to become just kind of a crass political calculation rather than appreciation of a judge who truly served the people for so long.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.